Your ankle here is composed of 4 major bones. We've got the tibia here on the inside, the fibula on the outside, we've got the talus underneath that, and then the calcaneus, or otherwise known as the heel bone, on the bottom. Then in between each one of the bones we have joints, and these joints allow the ankle to move in 6 major ways. We've got dorsiflexion, plantar flexion, inversion, eversion, and medial and lateral rotation. Now when we have this much motion within the ankle, we therefore need a lot of stability to prevent injury, because one of the issues with the ankle, and one of the things that makes it more vulnerable, is that you've got the entire weight of your body coming down on it. And so if the ankle is caught out and it's not in a good position and you have a lot of weight go through it, you're going to injure either the joint or usually quite often the ligaments within that ankle. And so the 2 main things that are going to give you stability are first the ligaments and then the muscles. We have 2 major muscles that provide stability. The one on the outside, which is your peroneus longus, which is the one that's going to bring your foot back into position when there is too much inversion, so it would pull it back this way. And then we have the one on the inside, which is your tibialis posterior, and this one's going to bring your foot back into position when there is too much eversion, and so it's going to bring it back into neutral. Now let's say, for example, you go for a walk and you step on a stone and this puts your ankle out of position. It might bring it inwards or outwards. If this occurs, then you need a quick communication between your ankle and your brain to tell the brain the position of the foot and the ankle, and then the brain needs to react really quickly to then fire either the muscle on the outside or the inside to bring a foot back into position before the weight of your whole body comes down on that out of position ankle. If this doesn't occur and the weight does come through in a position where, say, you're either outwards or inwards, then the likelihood is you're going to sprain one of the ligaments within your ankle, or might hurt one of the joints, or even fracture one of the bones. And so you need 3 major things to prevent ankle sprains. The first one is this good communication between the ankle and the brain. The second one is you need good strength within the muscles, particularly on the outside and the inside on the ankle. And the third thing you're going to need is good position and motion within the joints of the ankle, and this is what's going to prevent ankle sprain. So in this video I'm going to show you my top 4 exercises that are designed to improve these 3 areas specifically, so that you can stop spraining your ankle again into the future. Because one of the issues is once you sprain your ankle once, you tend to lose the function and abilities into these 3 areas, and if you don't change the trajectory of this, the likelihood is you're going to continue spraining your ankle into the future. So follow everything I do in this video. I can guarantee you should see improvements in your ankle and prevent ankle sprains in the future. Let's begin. Hello, my name is Dr. Stephen Hume. I'm a chiropractor based in Reading. I'm passionate about helping you to optimize your health and living pain-free. And if you are finding value in this video so far, then please do hit the like button just below. It will really help this video out. So we're going to go through the exercises then to prevent those 3 areas that I was talking about. So mobility and position of the joints. We're going to improve the strengthening of the muscles, as well as communication from the ankle to the brain that we call proprioception. Now, the first thing I'm going to address is the motion and the position of the joints in your ankle. Now, this is going to be best done by going to see somebody like a chiropractor who can assess the joints and function of your ankle, and to ensure that the ankle is moving properly and positioned properly. And we can use things such as an adjustment to correct the position and motion of the ankle to make sure it's functioning to its very best, because if it's not in a good position, you're going to be more likely to sprain the ankle. So that's always the first thing that I'll suggest doing. Now, I would always recommend doing these 4 exercises that I'm about to go through. If you've been to a chiropractor, or if you haven't been to a chiropractor, you can get started on them right away and then go to see a chiropractor as soon as you can if you do suffer with ankle sprains. So the first one is going to be a mobility exercise. Now, there's 2 ways we can do this. We can either do it by going through the motions that I described earlier in the video, where you go through into dorsiflexion, then you go into plantar flexion, then you go into inversion, and then eversion, and then you bring it medially, so inwards, and then you bring it outwards, so laterally. Or you can do this in addition to, you can draw your ABCs with your foot, and this is also going to help your dexterity and your proprioception within the ankle. So you go through your ABCs, so you draw the A, then you draw the B, and then you draw the C, and then D, and you go all the way through the alphabet all the way to Z. So that can be a great way to mobilize the joints, and this is going to be a lot easier once you've had the corrections in your ankle, once the ankle is moving and functioning to its very best by again seeing a chiropractor. Now the second exercise is going to be designed to strengthen the muscles that I talked about earlier on the outside of your ankle and the inside of your ankle. So we've got peroneus longus, and then we've got tibialis posterior on the inside there. So we can very easily do this by getting something called a TheraBand. If you haven't got one of these, I will put a link in the description below on how to get one, because it can be very useful as well for many different exercises. So what you want to do is make sure it's tied in a loop. You then want to make sure it's attached to something, so you can put it underneath the leg of a sofa or anything that you can find within the house, and then stretch it out, put it around the midfoot. You can then start by bringing it outwards and then hold for a couple of seconds and then bring it in and then out again. So we'll go in eversion. Once you've done this 10 to 12 times, you can then turn around so it's on the other side of your foot and then do inversion. So you bring it inwards again 10 to 12 times, and you'll hold it at the end for about 2 seconds and then release. I will recommend doing 3 sets of this. Try to do it all together, so you're only giving yourself 30 seconds to a minute break or rest in between each one of the sets, just so we get maximum fatigue within these muscles. So when we do the first one, so when we're doing eversion, what we're doing here is we're strengthening the peroneus longus on the outside, and when we're doing the inversion, so the going inwards, we're going to be strengthening the tibialis posterior, which is on the inside, and this is going to help give stability. So if you're walking and you do step on a rock or anything like that, and it brings your ankle into an inward or outward position, those muscles are going to be strong enough to then help support the ankles so that you don't stretch those ligaments. Then the third exercise is going to be to increase the communication between your ankle and your brain, and this is going to be a very, very important one. And so what you're going to do here is simply stand on one leg. Make sure you're in barefoot, because this is going to get maximum muscle contraction. It's going to also make it a little bit harder. Don't do this in shoes. Shoes tend to turn off the little muscles within your foot. So to exercise it to its very best, make sure you're barefoot. And then you want to be able to hold a standing balance for 1 minute. If you can't do 1 minute, that's got to be your first aim. And then maybe you can work to 1.5 or 2 minutes after that. The more, the better. If that's quite easy, then something you can do is step on a cushion. And the other thing you can do as well, and you can do this in addition to, if you like to, is you can then close your eyes. Closing your eyes is going to take away the input you would have had to gain your balance through your vision, and therefore you're going to rely more on the information coming from your ankles. So closing your eyes is a very essential part of this. You should be able to very easily stand on one leg for 1 minute. So as soon as you can, get to the point where you're closing your eyes, and again, you can add that cushion underneath your foot if you want more instability, so to challenge the ankle even more. And then obviously switch the sides afterwards, and I would aim to do at least a minute every single day, but you could always aim to do 1.5 to 2 minutes. By the way, if you are new here and you like this kind of content, then please do hit that subscribe button just underneath there. Now the fourth exercise is going to be not really an exercise, but it's walking around barefoot. This is a really, really great exercise, and actually just something you can just do every day within your house. I'll just recommend just going barefoot or just in socks around the house, because as you walk around, you're going to be training the small muscles in your foot, because as I mentioned earlier, one of the issues about wearing shoes all the time is that it gives your foot a lot of stability, so it's actually going to turn off these muscles, which is fine if you're doing something vigorous like going for a run or walking outside. Of course, you need to be able to protect your feet, and actually some sports you need some more stability around your ankle, particularly if it is a little bit fragile. But when you can, in safe environments, try to walk around in barefoot as much as you possible, just so you can exercise those muscles. So if you can do these 4 things, including going to see a chiropractor, you'll see really, really great results in the stability of your ankle, and you should see improvements in that area. If you've got any questions, then feel free to put them in the comments below. Now, if you like this video and you also suffer with flat feet, then check out my video here. I talk about flat feet, and I go through the top exercises to improve that side of things, because flat feet is also going to make you more vulnerable to spraining your ankle as well. Some of the exercises are very similar, but there are some differences on that video, so go check that video out now. Otherwise, I'll see you on my next video. Take care. Bye bye.